One, two, one, two, one, two. G Nice, what's the word?
Same old, man. Just
Man, what's going down?
here hanging out with the fam. Figure we can get a female perspective on
Tracy
whatever.
Trees in the building. What's going down, Trees?
Hey, nothing much. How are you?
Just chilling. Hey, I ran into Shorty that we used to work with when we was at Global Link. What's that? Holland girl, Holiday or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Anna.
yeah, Anna. We used to give her a ride home over to the Rock. I
Oh,
seen her not too long ago. Yeah,
good. How's she doing?
man. I guess all right. But other
Good.
than that, I seen her face. It made me just think about when we was doing that little telemarketing job and shit. Hey, where
Man,
you at now?
I'm in Phoenix. I live in Phoenix now,
That's
but
what's
here
up.
in KC with Greg.
Yeah, G Nice. I'm gonna have to get down there and visit too, man. I was talking to Anthony. He shot me like a little message, man, about the podcast, and he was just talking about some different stuff, and so on that insurance thing like that, man. So,
Yeah,
shit, we might have to put something together. Uh,
yeah. He got a lot of roots down here. So
yeah. Um, what's the key, man, on the little thing that we was talking about the trip?
you talking about the mancation?
Yep.
I've been trying to reach out, trying to round up some people to do it, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, 15 say yeah, seven go.
Right. Well, as long as I don't need no passport, I'm ready. I want to get out of here, so I'm about to try to figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I
Yeah.
still feel like we need to do it. I would have liked to have done it by spring or sorry, Labor Day, but guess we're gonna have to wait for a little while. And see,
Okay.
if
I'm gonna see.
not that, I prefer to go when it's cold, so we can get the hell away from here in the
Yeah.
cold. And
Yeah. I just came back from the ATL, man. Was down there messing with Sean and them for a minute, and Jarvis and Terranique and them checking on them, man. It was pretty cool, you
yeah,
know.
what's
Oh man, that train was everything, bro. You dig what I'm saying?
up?
Riding
I
on the
told
Amtrak.
you.
Hey,
Did I not tell you that?
listen. Hey, and guess what? For the first time going, it was so smooth. You know, dig what I did. I got off the train and just walked right down to Clinton Street and jumped on the L and caught it right out to the airport.
And there you go.
Jumped on there and then got on the flight and then got to GA and shit. So it was cool. But I'm telling you, the Amtrak is everything, bro.
It
And they
really.
listen, they serve steaks, they got food.
Hey,
Listen.
they make you sit across from a stranger though when you eat,
I sat with a stranger. She was listen.
but
I
it's
got her
cool.
number.
It's
Yeah,
cool
listen,
though.
cause listen, she was politicking. She dealing with like some type of nurse thing, and they was going out to I want to say Utah to a conference. And so she said when she get done with the conference, she gonna check out the podcast because we might be able to collab. Some people from Canada, super cool, man. Like damn, I was like, man, I might take the Amtrak down there to go check out local Lotion for the wedding in August down
Man,
in
it's
Tennessee.
fire, man. And when they make you sit across from somebody, you have no idea, and you're forced to talk to this person. Y'all sitting here, but there's usually some cool people on there.
Yeah.
I've never sat down for dinner there and ran into anybody that wasn't solid.
Right. So I thought it was a blast, man. Shit, what you got up for today though?
Man, we just been trying to chill a little bit.
What y'all got playing like while Treese down in town? Hey, where Cam at? He ain't
He's
down there.
no, he's back at home.
Oh, okay.
Phoenix
Man.
too.
I've been
Yeah.
listening to his music, man. Dude is dope.
Have
Dude
you?
is dope. For real, for real, for
Yeah.
real.
Shout
We
out
need to get
Creole
him on the podcast, G Nice. You dig
Oh,
what I'm
I can
saying?
grab him. He'll participate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to put
he'll,
him on the podcast.
he'll get down. But yeah, she's just here doing some relaxing, like I did when I was just down there.
Okay.
Man, it was just cool, just sitting and chilling, and
You
absolutely
was you was down here not too long ago, or you talking about back during that one time that you slid through?
me.
Yeah.
Nah, I just came from out in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Yep. When I was talking to you, you was out there. Oh, yeah. Hey, so how was your Father's Day, B? I just seen some of the posts that Ann had did.
Man, I mean, I wasn't about anything anyway. I just want to chill and
Yeah.
do whatever. I mean, yeah, it was a. It's kind of the day. It's interesting. I mean, the girls are with their dad, and Nate's in Iowa, so I just kind of, hey, chilled out. How was
Hey,
yours?
it was cool. I feel like the same thing though. You know what I mean? It's Father's Day. me and my kids is like we don't be seeing eye to eye. You dig what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I got some videos I'm gonna show you. I'm glad you on here, Trees, because now we can have like a woman's perspective. I know you ain't got no filter, so you know I got a few videos, and I'm
No.
and I'm and I'm and I'm gonna show you some shit. But G Nice, we got to work on like some theme music, man. Here go, like listen to this that I was thinking about, and I had it on like my story since you think you got Shank Douglas. Tell me about this. What is that?
That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta slow it down though.
You got to slow it down. I don't know how to slow it down. You talking about so
Like
you can
we
do your
allow.
lounge so you can do your lounge music to
Yeah,
it.
it's gotta be
Hey,
slow.
yeah,
It's gotta be
Shank
slow if
Douglas.
you're gonna do
You got to bring out Shank Douglas's. Hey, Rick James was the coolest, wasn't he, man?
it. Hey man, I
Hey,
mean that dude was wild as hell, but
hey.
he took his lump. He had went to the joint because he was like, I ain't going to the war. I'm gonna just go to camp.
Hey, dang that what Muhammad Ali did too. Like shit. I gotta type on here. We don't own the rights to the copyrights to this. But yeah. Listen, man, when I listen to Rick James, it do something to me, bro.
Oh, it absolutely does.
But
It always has.
did you hear from the boy on Father's Day?
Yeah, he called me yesterday.
Yesterday
What
wasn't
was
Father's
it?
Day
No,
though.
he called me on Sunday. I don't even remember what day it is right now. Yeah, he called me on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Briefly, and then followed up the next day asking for something. But I said,
Oh. See,
you know
kid.
how it goes. I mean, it wasn't anything that was out of pocket. It's just like, all right, cool, but just ease into it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we had a
Mm.
little conversation. I mean, kids are wild. Kids
Yeah.
are wild, and that's why we have the whole fuck these kids group because everybody can come together, man, and vent and just be like, you know what, these kids be on some bullshit.
I gotta check out the post more because somebody posted something the other day that was so serious about like a little kid. I'm gonna show you this video real quick and listen to what Farrakhan said. I mean,
Oh
I caught
shit!
two of them and I put them together, but Farrakhan is radical. Hold on.
Woo!
And I want everybody to understand, or whatever, just because they raised in your house, that don't mean they're going to turn out the way that you would like for them to turn out. Some of them start to develop a sense of entitlement and they start to go left, and they'll go left on you. And I want to tell all you adult parents out here, man, you don't have to put up with these grown children stuff. And I want you to understand, man, it ain't about giving them something. You cannot overcompensate for father not being there or overcompensate for the mother not being there by giving them everything. Because what you're doing is creating monsters.
Right.
When they become disrespect, when they start talking to you like you crazy or whatever, you need to use this button on your phone called the block button. You don't let everybody experience your great presence.
I want you to think about this. Regardless to whether you think your mother or your father did something wrong, what gives you the right? They brought your raggedy behind in the world. What gives you the right to rise up against your mother or your father to tell them this and that and show off your strength? In the Old Testament of the Bible, you rise up like that, we kill you. You strike your mother or your father, that's a death sentence.
My man said in the Old Testament they'll kill you.
Well, hey,
You rise up against your parents, that's a death sentence. Like I was like, wow. I don't think I read that part of the Bible, but you did what I'm
well, I
saying.
mean,
Hey,
I think as far as that goes, there are, as long as the power dynamic is there, and you can lose the power dynamic. I mean, you can, and once you lose it, you can't get it back. On that, but
give
if
me an
you
example of what you mean when you say the power dynamic, losing the power dynamic. Like, are
once you get it into a position to where you are actually providing, the power dynamic has
all
shifted.
right. So let me ask you this. What about like say for instance when you get we'll say like some of the younger generation who's got kids who make their kids like their best friend.
That's a
You think
mistake.
yeah. I think that's losing.
Yeah, like I mean, well, in my opinion, of course, but I feel like if you approach it, whether it's a child or anyone, right? If you approach them like you're my friend, you're telling that person how to treat you. So they're
Exactly.
going to treat you like a friend. So then when you go back and you're like, wait, I'm mom or I'm dad, kids are like, what's going on
Mm-mm.
the whole
Yep.
time? We've been friends, right? We've been talking, we've been kikiing, and now you want to be mom. So they get to the point where they don't have the respect for you as a parent, but as a friend. And then in turn, I've seen the parents that'll go and get so upset at this child, but you're showing that child that you're their friend and you want them to view you as a friend. So then when they turn and they treat you as a friend, now you're upset. So now you're just confusing this kid, and they're going to grow up having no idea what dynamic to even act right with people, because their parent is their parent and then their parent is their friend.
Yep. You
So yeah,
know,
it doesn't work.
not to cut you off, but I seen that though a lot, Trees. Like say for instance, when the shorty is like that 1 year old, 2 year old, you know what I mean, and then they having them cuss, they having them say like little cool stuff.
Mm,
You dig what I'm saying? And trying
mhm.
to show off because they like to hear them talk, so they have them saying anything, so they can laugh at it.
Mhm.
Now they get a little bit older, they start cussing you out, and you don't know what to do. You dig what I'm saying?
Right, because you haven't created those boundaries for a kid and you're treating them more like, oh, this is just a fun show, right? But to this child who is 1, 2 years old, they're thinking, oh, this is how I'm supposed to act. And then that's why we have humans in this world who have no idea how to act as adults because they didn't know how to act as kids. So they just grow up and they're just bigger kids,
And
regardless of the age.
and right now, shit, that ain't the time. It's too dangerous out here. Yeah, I was in a I was in a chow hall. We was in a break office the other day, and this dude is a little bit older, but this is an example of what's going on out here. He was telling me how the police had followed him all the way to work, and he was just like, "Man, listen." He was all the way behind me. He was like, "Run my license. I don't care, mother effer." You know what I mean? Ain't nothing he could do to me. And he was like, what he would have told the police. I said, "Listen, don't do that. They killing us out here." You dig what I'm saying? You say that to that man pull you over, ask you for your stuff, and you start talking crazy to him, police will blow you down. And them
You
them
remember?
shorties, yeah, and them shorties out here, they talk like that. They talk like that to anybody.
You remember
Yeah.
when I had to get that job in Rock Island, right? It was at the spot where it was the Miss Cleo thing, where in the Billy, what the fuck was it? Billy Williams, where they had Billy D. Williams. And if you called into this number, they would send you like some power crystals or some shit like that. So we were responsible for listening to these messages and typing out the people's name and addresses, and they would send them the damn power crystal. But when I was working over there, that was after the unfortunate incident, and they would follow me all the way to the bridge. I get on the bridge, and then Davenport would pick up and follow me all the way out to the cannon every single day. I'm like, y'all got too much time on your hands.
Right.
I'm coming from work. You can
Mm.
see that I'm not filthy. What do you think I'm doing over here?
Yeah.
So it gets to be like that. But yeah, how you handle it is entirely up to you. You talking to
Yeah.
people like that, man, they gonna go ahead, man. They gonna turn in your birth certificate.
Hey, and
Mhm.
I think that they looking for a reason to do it though now. You dig what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I mean? They because they getting away with it, you know what I mean? It's like they start something if you want to. Give me a reason to use this gun. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit.
Well, I think
Mm.
some of it as well is that we weren't wild like that. They didn't have it. I mean, right now, hell, you know how we feel about some of these shorties. You see them, you're like, you don't know what's going on. They got hoodies on in a way that you like, yo, they roaming in packs and they be on some bullshit. So you just kind of be like, So on one level, I kind of understand their fear. On the other level, that's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
That's your job. You go
Right.
do
Yeah.
your job, and your job is not to kill people.
Right. But
Well,
listen to this though. On a real quick, Tracy, I just wanted to point this out. I was riding down the street, right? And a couple of these little kids, I don't know if they just came from like the little mark, but they was all wearing a ski mask in the summertime.
mm.
I'm like, fam,
He,
what are y'all doing?
he went to the airport, or he went to LaGuardia when we were on our way back here. And he tried to walk in that damn airport with one of them dumbass things. I'm like, dude, are you trying to go to jail? Because I'm not.
Well,
Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you walk in here like that?
and I don't
And
Right.
think they get the I don't think they understand that, yes, okay, fashion, right? We've taken it to where people can wear a ski mask or a baklava and it's fashion, right? But kids don't understand when you're out in the world and if you see anyone, I don't care what color you are, if I see anyone with a ski mask, I am going to think, maybe I should just walk the other way, because I don't know and I don't want to find out,
exactly.
I don't want to find out for
Right.
real.
At all.
I don't know what your motive. I don't know you. You
Mhm.
dig?
Right.
Straight up.
And back to even what Greg said when he was saying that, the kids are wild nowadays, right? And the police, that's what they signed up for. And I mean, there's a lot of layers to it,
Truth.
but one of the things that I think is really important that people have to understand is you can control how you respond to a situation. So, like you were saying with your friend, that was, oh, and if the police pull me over and if they do this and that. So now you're inviting that energy right into your space.
Right.
So you're getting yourself charged up. So now the police pulls you over and you're already charged up, right? Or if they're charged up, I've gotten pulled over. I'll just give an example. I've gotten pulled over in Arizona. We are like Texas, you can carry. I'm hauling it to work. I'm speeding and I'm in the HOV lane.
Ooh, solo? No dog on the passenger seat?
No, I just had to get to work,
Damn, you flossing.
And they were just like, hey, you've got to register. I said, hey, I've got my firearm, and they came hot. I mean, when they pulled me over, dude was like, I could clearly tell he was upset, right? But I can control my energy. So I just gave him what he asked. And when he dismantled my firearm and handed it back to me and my traffic stop was over, I said, excuse me, I need you to put my firearm back together because that's not protocol, right? And he said, well, I just want to make sure for my safety. I said, well, that's fine. You can put the clip in the back seat, but I don't know how to put this back together. And there's springs right here,
Should be fucked up.
And I was just honest with him. And that man was so upset. He was so upset because I wasn't giving him what he wanted. And that could have went the other way, right?
Right. Could have went south.
But you have to gauge it. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that it's right, but you have to do what you have to do to get back home. And then you can fight it the legal way, right? There's no point in trying to argue on the side of the road with someone who has a power trip, and they're going to be right regardless.
I know. And he got the badge. And he got the badge too, so he can stand behind that.
I'm gonna ask a question here. Do you feel like the current operations with the youth are damaging us overall?
Are you saying our interaction with the youth? You said, oh, give me an example.
The craziness been going on, the bodies, all of that, and making them more heightened in awareness on it and bringing it down on everybody, even the kids that are not out here illing. We know we get lumped together, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it becomes a problem. But do you feel like, that is causing us to be under more scrutiny? And what are your thoughts?
Well, okay. I'm gonna say it's a little bit of a balancing act because I'm gonna give it a little bit because what they doing, and me and you done talked about a lot of it, the influence with the music, the ski mask, a lot of that's in the videos. You dig what I'm saying? And so they seeing what rappers is doing on the video, so they just mimicking. You dig what I'm saying? And back in like when I was young, coming through high school, it was the African medallions, the Black Power fist, and I was all about it. I was all on that, reading the books and everything. So, music can control it. What I do feel like though, there is babies having babies. You dig what I'm saying? If that makes sense, because y'all, this majority of parents like now, late 20s, early 30s, early 20s, or whatever, y'all not even mature, and now you run around and you're responsible for a life. You dig what I'm saying? Now you got a life out here, and it's like you ain't even got it together. You ain't doing the right thing. So,
that's not new.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? And so now it's just like
4 or 5 generations back when we start talking about that. So it's just been a progression. Next thing you know, you're gonna have people who are like 12 years older than their kids, and that's
Mm.
crazy. And I think it probably exists. I mean, we've
It
all
probably
known
is.
people that was
Come
like
on,
13,
fam. I was a, I was, I
knocked
was
up.
a, I was a grandfather in my 30s.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
and it's like that, and we all know that you're never done learning, right?
No,
And
never.
you haven't reached. I mean, think if you were 14 and bam, you somebody daddy.
Yeah,
How are you supposed to deal with that? And it's kind of not your fault in not knowing how to do it, because you get people 30s, 40s, and still learning, because every kid is different, you
yeah,
But
know?
and that's where I think you can bring in, where are the aunties, where are the ancestors that are able to say, hey, you may be a young parent, but I can offer you some assistance, right? It takes a
right.
village to raise a child.
Yeah,
it The kids don't have really anywhere to look from. I mean, I look at myself. I had my son at almost 19 years old, but I don't feel like you can just use that as an excuse and say, well, I had a child young. You can read books, you can go online, right? You know how to act basically from right to wrong, so you can raise a kid pretty much with the basics and show them, hey, this is right, this is wrong. They go to school and learn. You can put out a half decent human with that. But what becomes a problem is when the kid is a kid in their mind still, in body and soul, and the parent is a kid. And then now you look at the grandma, right? With the grandparent, like you said, you were a grandpa at 30, right? So
yeah.
imagine if you have this family of no one who really knows how to carry themselves. How is anyone, you're looking to the next person like,
Yeah.
hey, what am I to do? And that person's looking like, I don't know. So where are the people, even with the young girls, right? Where are the women that are saying, "Hey, you know what, honey? That's a little risque for your age, right? Do you need to wear that?"
Yeah.
We don't have that because the moms are turning up with the daughters, the dads are,
Turning up
sliding
with the
with their
sons. Yeah.
sons.
Yeah.
So it's just like we've got friends,
Right.
friends
But
doing it.
and also because I'm gonna tell you some trees. Like when I was younger, we grew up in Arsenal Courts, and it's like way before it turned like really, really bad. Um, but like if I was doing something, I remember this lady, Miss Virgie, that was next door. She would whoop me and make me sit on the porch until my grandmother came home. Then when my grandmother came home, I got another whooping. You dig what I'm saying? And so that's how I used to go. And so it's like the one thing that you said that stood out is just like, okay, and I said it a little bit on in the Father's Day commercial. It said, "What does it take to be a father?" It takes maturity and it takes knowledge. You got to have something up here. That's the reason why when I was running the streets, G Nice, when we was doing our thing, you know where I left Nubia at. Nubia was at my mom's in the house. Y'all was in a safeguard. You dig what I'm saying? Stay over there. I'll come and take you shopping. I'll go do this and that. But I keep you away from my life. You go down there and you stay at your granny's house. You dig what I'm saying? Around somebody that's waking up, where you seeing examples of people going to work or taking you to school. Ain't no liquor or nobody smoking weed and talking crazy around you. You dig what I'm saying? And so I get it, man. It's just right now, I don't
Doesn't
know.
some of that contribute to, like, everybody has like a big mama story or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that, where your grandmother has stepped in and done the job, but doesn't that make it hard to establish the relationship as a parent and a child when those responsibilities have jumped over you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, to keep it 100, Nubia chose, you know what I mean, to, you know, kind of like run loose in the streets. You dig what I'm saying? And but she grew up with Terranique and Jarvis and them in the house. And so I just think that, Nubia, she just like the female version of me. You know what I mean? She like the hood, she like grinding, she like hustle, she like style, flash, you know what I mean? And so it's just like she was a daddy's girl. But I get it, my biggest fear though is that, you know, um at the rate that they going, man, it's just like I don't know exactly how do you turn this back around right here, because I done seen some stuff like now, man. It's just like I was telling these cats, this one chick, she picked me up one day and she was just like, "Hey, been a couple of blocks with me." So down here now, the thing is they hanging out at the strip club. So when the clubs is over with, everybody go to the strip club, and so I riding with her, man. I'm telling you, G Nice, man, I've seen at least like 7 or 8 dudes with these skinny jeans on, hanging all the way down, and everybody damn near had a gun in their back pocket or tucked inside their jeans. And they was running from car to car, smoking blunts. They was drinking Douce. They was passing Patron, and it was just like, damn, if it go down out here, it's gonna be like the 4th of July out here, man. Like these cats, it's like it don't make no sense, man, at what's going on out here now, boy. And I'm talking about this is the quad, so every now and then we used to get like a little rah rah, but now it's just like shh.
Well, I think the problem with that is there are a bunch of crazy people out here, right?
You
We know
said
'em.
a bunch of crazy
Oh man,
people.
you know some crazy motherfuckers. Tell me you don't know some crazy
Yeah,
people.
I know some. I know, like,
Yeah, we both know some crazy people. They
yeah,
can't be controlled, and you just like, all right, better on this side than not. You know what I'm saying? But then you get the dudes that are just out. You know what I'm saying, in the mix, or just out, you know what I'm saying, for a so-called good time. And that's how you get people catching strays because some fools are out here. And there's always going to be a percentage of any ethnicity or whatever that's going to sit it down for doing some crazy shit. We're not
mm-hmm.
any different. We're just in a closer proximity to the people that look like us. The numbers aren't any more higher. I mean, you don't see us
You
over
talking
in
about what? The numbers aren't any more higher as like far as like what?
murder and shit like that. Ours is not that much higher, and we don't even get close. You know, white dudes get up close. They want to touch you. You know,
Yeah,
they want to feel it go through. So it's not any different. But on our end, we gotta try to find a way to get them to be more cognizant of what they're doing because it all seems great when you're young.
yeah.
And it is gravy with if you're not taking into account what you're trying to be, or you got to look 10 years down the line. If we didn't do it, I understand it. Maybe people were trying to tell us, like we ignored them, and the kids are doing the same to us. But it's the consequences are way higher. There's the internet. Ain't no you just did something and it's
Yeah.
gone, and it's a memory. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
you go to try to get a gig in 10 years. They
Yeah.
want to know how you was waving guns on Instagram.
Right.
You know, you got to be cognizant of that and where your life is trying to go. And that's
Yeah.
another thing that I will say, they need to figure out what they want to do. It's not about what they're doing right now. Okay, this is what you want to do. How do you plan to get there?
So let me ask this. So how do you do that with the children that have been born in families where they're not really seeing a lot of hope, right? Because coming like with a lot of like the black kids, you really look at it and they're playing, it's like Call of Duty with their life. And the only thing that I can think of is that if you've never been shown a better way and you don't know what it's like to think, oh, when I, get 18, I'm going to do this or do that, maybe they're not even able to see a future. So if if you can't see a future and no one around you has been able to see a future, how do you then break that cycle on your own with very limited help and as a child? And you have all the negative influence that are the feel goods, right? You want to have fun, you want to hang out because you're out today because
and that's
tomorrow may not exist. So how do you reach those children?
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Like right around here, one of the things that I really take my hat off to is Doc G and them doing that on PBU, Positive Brothers Unite. And so he's got this little center, and they got computers. They can go over there and make beats and stuff like that. So he's trying to give them a different way to like channel that energy. You dig what I'm saying? And so I think that that's what you got to do. One of the things that might be possible is to try to tap in to see where the talent is at, and then try to say, okay, there's no more boys and girls clubs around here no more. There's no more. When we grew up, we used to have the friendly house. And so we used to go down there. We used to eat. We used to play paddleball, basketball, or whatever. You get into a fight. Okay, boom, you get beat up, you go home. It is what it is. But, it was love because everybody brung you together as a community. You get to hang with some kids from over here on this side of the street that you didn't normally see. But when we come to the center, now we kick it. Now instead they fighting each other. And I think that's one of the things that we lost. We lost community. You said it, Tracy. You said it takes a village to raise a child. And we don't got that no more. It's like most of their role models or people that's in the hood is like an OG or a big homie, somebody trying to tell them or giving them a pack or probably giving them a pistol. You know what I'm saying? It's this.
I think also what we're dealing with is you get these younger ones, they like, don't touch my kid. You know, it used to be the neighbor will whoop your ass and like
Yeah.
take you home to get another whooping
Yeah.
because you did this shit. It can't happen right now. They start around, don't touch my badass kid.
Yeah.
Well, that would be crazy. I'm different when it comes to like whooping kids. I think that's absurd. And it's something that Black people, especially, we need to get away from.
You whooping kids?
Yes, because it's crazy. Think about it. Think about it, right? Let's take this turn. Okay, you're a small child, right? And the person who's looking after you is like, you did something bad. Then that person hits you and it hurts. And you're like, I'm scared of this person. Then when it's time to go to bed, this person tells you they love you. So that's your first association with violence and love, right? Because if someone came to you as an adult, if you were at work, right, and you didn't do something right, and your boss had to tell you a couple of times, if your boss hit you, would that be acceptable? And would you learn from your mistake?
Why?
I think you just put it on two different levels though. Like at the boss, I mean, I come to do a job for you and you pay me. Either I do what you tell me to do or you fire me. You dig what I'm saying? But in my household, you dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? And I wish I would have got this other one. Like sort of like what Farrakhan said. I brung you into this world. Like, what gives you the right to feel like you can talk to me any kind of way when like you don't put a roof over their head, you put food in their mouth. Um, I, I can agree that I think if it's child abuse, I think it's bad. But I think man, the
I
whooping,
can tell you.
I think the whoopings
It's,
should.
it's,
Well,
hold
but I
on,
can
before
tell
you say
you.
that, Greg,
Okay.
before you say, excuse me. So it's we can't dictate what child abuse is, right? We don't know how that's going to imprint on a child. So instead of communicating with that child, and to be clear, when my son was little, I spanked him because that's what I knew, right? And then seeing what kind of child he was way above his time. He's like, this doesn't make sense. Like you got to communicate with me, right? So then we end up going to, let's whoop a child. I don't care if it's a pop on the hand. Sometimes, yeah, that's necessary, right? But if we're going to give a child a whooping because they did something bad, we're not communicating with that child saying, why did you do what you did? I'm upset because you did this. I told you. We're not communicating. So now we're pushing individuals out in the world that cannot communicate their actual feelings. If you ask a lot of grown people now, how do you feel about that situation? They're, oh, well, or they go to anger, right? Because they don't have time to sit in the heated moment. They don't know how to just calm down and take a second or step away because they were always met with violence. Violence is violence. If you're
Well,
hitting
I tell you this.
in my
I'll give you this example. I remember one time, uh, me and my cousins and them and my sister and them, our parents was going to the grocery store and we was up on the highway in Rock Island throwing rocks at cars. Like, you know what I mean? As they ride past,
that's how
boom.
you get your ass toe up. That's how you get your
Listen,
ass toe up.
and when we seen the car pulling back up, I had went to go use the bathroom. And so only thing I know when I was coming downstairs, the car was pulling up. And then here they come down the hill. You could see dust coming from them. They was running so fast. Oh man, when they got to the crib, man, they got towed up. Now I
But
believe like that right there, that was the time to get towed up. Because you
love.
could have hurt somebody, you
Oh
could have
yeah,
killed somebody.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
well,
But
yeah,
as long as we understand, the essence of where it came from.
right.
It didn't come from Africa. It ain't beating kids over there.
No.
It came from essentially you out in the field and you getting your ass toe up every day, right?
Mhm.
So the one bastion of safety you have is your home, whether it's a shack or whatever. So that's the only place you can feel like you're in control of something, right?
Right.
And what they getting out in the field, right? You didn't do something you were supposed to do. What happens to you? So that is established. That's a way that you have power over it. Now, I'm not saying this right now. I am a firm proponent of tearing some ass up, but all I'm saying is don't make me have to do that shit. Hey, like people say, it's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. Like,
I will say this: it shouldn't be, in my opinion, the first go-to, because if we can't communicate with the child, some things are, you may, and I mean, my son is grown, so I'm so removed from even having to be in that situation, but I just feel like if we were to communicate with children, then they are going to be able to then communicate with you and then go through life and be able to communicate instead of going first to, I know some people that's just their first go-to. They're, hey, you did something wrong. I'm telling you why you did it. They'll explain, to the child that this is what you did wrong and I'm whooping you. But that's the only punishment. How do you learn through that? You just learn, oh, I did something wrong and now I'm going to hit you, instead of, I don't know, communicating with that child and then they stop.
I never feel like it should be a first mode, that you go into. But I ain't gonna keep telling you some shit a bunch of times now you giving me an activity and evidently be talking to you, whether it's calmly or yelling at you about it. None of those things are working. So now we got to take it to the next level.
Right.
Because I don't know what to get you to do to understand. So it's like, yo, stop doing that.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, though, too, I agree with that. This is the thing that I think, too, Tracy, it's got to be levels. Like you said, like if it's like minor things, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation. We're going to rap about this. So listen, this is what I expect. This is what I don't expect. This is a bad, we're going to do it with all of this. We're going to take games. We're going to take phones. We're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to lose privileges. But now when you get out here and you start doing some stuff that can harm somebody or costing us money out of our pocket or do something and you think it's a habit, better. We ain't finna communicate. Come on, let me show you that.
Yeah, but it's also all right. So when you talk about like a lot of what I would consider it to be is a lot of safety issues.
Yeah,
I'm not about to be out here asking your feelings because I don't want you to run out in the middle of the street. Stay your ass out the street. Why? Because I'm trying to keep you from getting killed. Yeah. And if that will get somebody to stop doing something, then by all means, that's what you have to do. Now, I mean, you spill some ice cream, I ain't gonna whoop your ass.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
no, but like, listen to what you said, fam. Like, listen, across the street, there is this family, and they got like a hill, and so these kids are no more than about 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most. I can't even say none of them is 5 years old. So they slide down the hill in their swimming pools like every day in like this little plastic swimming pool. This dude sits up on the porch and sometimes he'll go in the house and he'll leave them. Now, where my mom lived, 14th is a hill. So sometimes when they slide down the hill, they just run into the streets. And so it's like if a car coming down here, it's going to be too late. And so I'm looking down there and I got so mad at my mom. She got mad. She was like, one day they walked all the way down here and I had to tell them to get back to the house. And it's just like, y'all got to do something. You dig what I'm saying? Because you keep telling them, get up here, don't go over there, don't do this and that. It's like, fam, they 3 years old. That's a street. If one of them get hit by one of them cars, you're going to wish that, man, it's just like, I don't get it. You dig what I'm saying?
I had to beat Nate's ass when he was 3. Fucking trying to put shit in outlets. Like, no, you cannot do that anymore. And I'm going to try to do my damnedest to convince you that that is not a good look for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to, like, I can't watch you 24/7. Like,
right.
I can give you a few minutes and you in there. Next thing you know, you got a goddamn fork in the damn outlet and you over here medium well. And
you said he medium well.
If you would have baby-proofed the house, the baby wouldn't be medium well.
But they learn how to pull them out.
Yeah.
Get the little things that go in there and
they learn how to get them out.
Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, they over there smoking.
Yeah, like a pop on the hand or
no, that's an ass.
No.
So much that has to happen if you do that dumb ass shit.
I just wanted to say, full disclosure, I do not have any little kids, nor do I deal with any little kids. So I'm sure if I was around those little people, I would feel sometimes different. But even with my great nephew, like, I'm like, oh no, we can soft parent. Like, I was on blogs.
They're not yours. Everybody is cool around other people's kids.
Yes, because you can send them home. Yeah, you can send them home.
Don't
Exactly.
fuck up my
Play,
shit.
you eat,
And you
you
go
get a
home.
bunch of junk. I spoil you. Go home.
Get some
You did.
sugar. Go to the crib.
Go to the
But I will
crib.
say, but it does work because, like my niece, she's used a lot of it and she's gotten success. And I'm like, it is tiring a lot of times. I've been with my great and I've been, okay, you have to sit down. You have to stay in timeout. They don't stay in timeout. They're like, what? And they walk away. And I'm like, yo, you have to really keep going back and forth. So I'm speaking from the lens of someone who has a grown child now and does not have to even deal with it. But in public, I do want to beat other people's children.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about the concept of looking back? I can say for myself, I look back and I'm like, this worked for me. Motherfucker tap my ass, I stopped doing that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're almost conditioned to feel like that's how you get results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because
we grew up in the same household and it was different. I
right.
feel completely different. Like
Because she was a youngie.
I feel like,
Right. You
oh
was the
my
baby.
gosh, why
You
is
probably got
something
baby.
Yeah.
well, it wasn't even that. It was just I've always felt like, why would someone put their hands on another person? Like, this is
Because
just
nobody
crazy.
had to whoop you.
But and then I watched them get whooped, and I'm like, absolutely not. I am too little for this.
You remember
Like,
that? Once it got that fly swatter broken on
Yeah.
her?
oh my gosh, terrified. I was like, oh, I'm just
She broke
sitting.
the fly swatter on her and kept going hard with the
Mm-mm.
wires.
Hey, that sounds like my house right there. That's how I used
And
to
I
go
was
down in
like,
my house.
ooh,
Like,
wee. Like, ooh,
like when you see that, like I didn't want to be on the end of that. Like, cause
Right.
my cousin Toya, she used to get some whoopings, bro. Like, man, you like I'm cool. Like I
Yeah.
Miss
don't
Little
know what's
said it.
going
Miss
on.
Little said it. You gonna wish you hadn't have done that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's how you would look. Like, as the youngest, I just look, duly noted. All right, I'm not doing that. Like, I do not want to be what, like, just don't put your hands on me.
But if
yeah,
it works for you, if it worked for you growing up, it made you stop doing shit that you know you weren't supposed to do.
Mhm.
How are you not supposed to translate that into a level of
right,
parenting, good or bad?
yeah.
I agree.
It's gonna transfer over because that's all you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, and I think it's just good, like you said, it just got to be balanced out, man.
Yeah, and it's
Sometimes there's gonna be some talking, then, but sometimes there's gonna be some stuff where we gonna have to get into it. You didn't got into it, like, cause man, I just tell my grandson, man, like, dude is rough, and we haven't got to the point where I had to put my hands on him, but he has said some stuff that made me want to choke him up, but but he wouldn't have made it around my grandmother. You dig what I'm saying? Cause all that not cleaning up and not picking up after yourself, like it's certain things that she wouldn't go for. You know what I mean? And so they different, and so I don't, to tell you the truth, I mean, man, I pray for them a lot, man, but I try to interact with them, you know what I mean, as much as I can. If I get them in a chair and I cut their hair, I always try to tap into their mind and see what you're thinking about, what you like, what kind of music you listen to, what you trying to do when you get older, man, because they talented as hell, bro. They smart with all this technology going on, man. They so smart. It's just like, damn, if you could just get them to just understand and respect where they came from, man, it might be a different story.
well, I mean, I think I said it before. We never looked at old heads and been like, oh, whatever. The circumstances or whatever happened to you, or you went and sat down. For a little while. All right, whatever, you fucked up. We didn't look at it like that. We learned from the situation
Yeah,
and been like, okay, this is what they did wrong. Well, let's not do that because we don't want that. Um, a lot of these kids now, they're like, "Psh, I know better than you.
yeah. You can't
And
tell them
you're like,
nothing.
okay. You're like, all right, okay. You out here thinking shit sweet, and mess around and you be in the situation, but they're not open to getting guidance. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying that, if a lot of times it's hard to get guidance from somebody who has not been in that same situation. But if I've been in that situation or other people have been in that situation, those are the people you need to pay attention to
yeah,
because they know the blueprint. I mean, they just telling you where the bridge is low.
right. And then one of the things that we used to do too, though, is like, man, it's like I listen to my cousins and them. Like, my older cousin, everything that when you see little stuff, you took it in as knowledge, man. They help you grow. Like nowadays, they don't want to listen to none of that, man.
And
Cause
that's what I'm saying.
because the only thing I was just trying to, what I mean, one of the examples I was just trying to tell my daughter is just like, okay, you know, anytime that there's drugs and a gun, that's fed. You dig what I'm saying? So if you riding around with a person like that, now everybody got to try to figure out who does this stuff belong to. I tell you what, everybody going to jail until we figure it out.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody gonna go
All
to
the
jail until we
truth.
figure. Yeah,
No
everybody
lie.
going to jail. Yeah, everybody going down there. Y'all don't know who stuff this is. All right, I tell you what, we're gonna go down there.
We all
When the
gonna
feds
go.
start talking about throwing out them big baseball numbers, you're gonna
Mhm.
be looking crazy. You know what I mean? So, it's a balancing act, man. I tell you, I got some other stuff too, man. Have you talked to local Los? Well, I got Tracy
Like
on here.
last week.
All right,
Uh,
I'm gonna play another video since we got Tracy on here about this dude. I think he died. But man, I was reading some of his. I was not reading some of his stuff. I was looking at some of his videos just because I was watching the thing where it talked about he
Low song.
died. There, Loki Los. Okay, I can't see it. When I show the video, I'll pick up on it. I'm gonna play you this video, then Tracy. I want to see what you say about this one. Hold on.
Why do you think a woman who is an average looking, below average physicality, below average weight, can sit around talking about they're going to hold out? Or wait, what are you waiting for? The answer is what many are waiting for is a sucker. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and say, you know what? Even though you got 200,000 miles on you and had a couple of wrecks, I'm going to go ahead and pay brand new prices for it. Here's some of the attributes of an overly impressed party of one. They say things like, not all women are like that. They say things like, well, I don't know about that. I can't speak for that, but I know for me and mine. Yeah, you're single as French toast.
Hey, listen,
Hey,
man. Hey, Hey, I watched a bunch of his stuff, man. Listen, he gonna give it to you how he feel. Now, you dig what I'm saying? I don't totally agree with everything that he's saying, but it's just like, why did he go in like so hard? And I think he passed not too long ago. You know who this dude is?
He did,
Michael
yeah. Kevin
Michael, yeah,
Samuels.
Kevin Samuels, man. And so
and they
there
hating
was,
him.
yeah, and there was a lot of stuff. So I had to check him out. You know what I mean? See, like, who is it and why so many people talking about him? And then when you start listening to the way that he talk and how hard he be going, it's just like fam is rough, man. But what do you think about that, Tracy? Just overall, what's your first thought on that one?
I mean, overall, I feel like Kevin Samuels he speaks like he's speaking to his, well, he did speak like he's speaking to his boys just hanging out, right? Just the honest to God truth. Now with the internet, like you've got women out here and they're like, I want a high value man and I'm holding out and I'm doing this and that. And when you just break it down to the brass tacks of, if you are, and I didn't see the full video, obviously, in the full context of what he was speaking of, but knowing his material, he speaks with the women that have, tons of people that they've been with. They have maybe multiple, baby fathers. And then they say, maybe they haven't come to Jesus with themselves, but then they say, oh, wait, no, I'm holding out and I want, this great man. But you have consequences to your actions, right? You
Right.
can't be overweight and want a 6 foot man make six figures, right? Over, 666, right? 6 foot 6 inches, six figures. Like, how are you asking for this stuff?
Well,
Women,
I listen. I listen. I've never heard the 666. Now that you
you
just
know,
that,
I have not either.
that's
it,
That's
that's
news to
that's
me.
brand that's
it,
brand new to me. Like,
yeah, like a lot of women,
see,
you
you
have
see the
to,
Six,
benefits
that's
of having.
all?
it's,
Sit-
Six is all?
listen, they're like, I want 6 foot 6 inches over
That's
six
the middle part is
figures.
where I'm confused. That's good.
Like, I'm like, and it's just, to me, that even spewing that rhetoric is just crazy. But I agree with, I don't, like you said, I don't agree with everything that Kevin Samuel says. I understand that he did it for, different things for shock and, shock jock. I get it. But overall, you have to really be realistic with yourself and then say, if you're wanting a certain kind of person, do you interact with that person on a day-to-day basis? Is that person even in your zeitgeist, right? Like, do you even want this person? And has this person ever hit on you? And if the answer to all of that is no, then you're just not in that pond, and that's okay.
So you saying that they should be realistic?
100%. Louis Vuitton said it, and I loved it. Someone asked him, no,
manage expectations.
Yeah, someone asked him.
So maybe they should shoot for the 444 or something.
The Wendy? No, well, listen, Louis Vuitton said it best when someone asked him why he doesn't make cheap shoes, right? Why don't you make a better price? And he said, some things aren't for everyone. And it's true. It's really true. You can't say that you can just, I want this kind of person, and just, they have to be there, and they're just going to be okay with anything that you have to offer. Right. No, I mean, women are realistic. Like, and I will say, I mean, and especially, Black women.
But you know what? One of the things that you said that I found that was on point, because when you look through Facebook, you'll see like all kind of messages and different things that women will say, or I want this, and you know, as if they going through it, as if they just been dealing with the wrong man their whole entire life, and I'm not going through that no more. I'm looking for this and I'm looking for that. And one thing that I can appreciate about what he said is check yourself. You dig what I'm saying? So while you sitting out here putting off this checkbox of what you want out of a man, why don't you check yourself? You dig what I'm saying? Won't you see where you check up at? You know what I mean? And not just what you think of yourself. Be realistic, and you know what I mean? And stop playing all the time.
If you go, there are two things that need to be taken into consideration here. What are you actually looking for? Are you looking for a partner, or are you looking for a sugar daddy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So figure out what you want, but then figure out how you measure up. If you're looking for a partner, y'all can work through a lot of things as long as you have that connection there. If you're looking for a sugar daddy, that means that you are not doing your half to bring yourself up to even be in the same room with this man. Right? So you want all of this. You have all these requirements, but you ain't shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you hear what he said? He said you got like 200,000 miles on you, and you done been in all types of wrecks. You dig what I'm saying? And he said, but you still want somebody to pay high price value for you. So, all right, I wouldn't put a woman, excuse me, on a level like that of this and that. This is where your worth lies. But at the end of the day, stop playing. You dig what I'm saying? Stop playing. Don't try to act like you ain't been through some stuff, and now all of a sudden you want to be squeaky clean, and you think like a person should. Man, you better come on back down to earth, man, and stop playing. You know what I mean? So, I get it where he was trying to go with it though, but
yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of added things. You know, okay, you get with a woman with 3 kids. Well, guess what? You better hope they offer the same dude, and it's still gonna be hell for you because he's gonna cause problems. But if they're about multiple dudes, now you like, yo, I mean, that's a lot of shit to have to deal with. I mean, but when you look at it from the guy's perspective, you have 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have full custody of them, they are kind of given a little out that men are not. You know what I'm saying? And,
what do you think? She shook her head. Hold on. She shook her head.
No, they don't. They don't get an out because, I'll say this, because regardless if your children live with you or not, if you're a man and you have multiple children by multiple women, you're still dealing with multiple personalities.
That was my point.
Right. So if something happens, even if a man doesn't have their children, right? Let's say a man has 3 children by 3 different women. That means you're sharing as a woman. It just depends on what you want to share. But at any given time, you have 3 women that can alter your man's mood.
I guess that's the same.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Know? And you're right. Dealing with that.
I digress.
And it also, thank you. And it also,
she got you. Yeah.
But, you know,
that's why it's good to have you here. So yeah.
And I will say this: it doesn't matter if you have children by the same person or different people. If you're managing your children and your life, then fine, you have everything under control. But what ends up getting sticky is you've got, on the woman's side, is a woman has 3 children by 3 different baby dads, maybe two are taken care of, maybe they're not. You never know the dynamic. So then the woman then looks to every man she dates to financially step in. It's not fair to the man. It's not fair to the children, because you're just asking someone, hey, come here, take care of my kids just because we're together. And that's not that person's responsibility. And did you ask that person if they're willing to be a provider financially for those children from whatever age they are on, through adulthood? So
So real quick, Tracy, not to cut you off, let me ask you this then.
Mhm.
All right. So of course you just got one. So if a dude was dating a girl or he met her, then he comes and find out that okay, yeah, she's got 3 kids. Can he automatically say that's a deal breaker and he would be justified by saying that?
100%. I feel like it's that's a boundary, right? What you feel that you want to put up with or that you have the emotional bandwidth for is your right. So you meet a girl and you think, oh, she has 1 kid. After you reassess the situation, you're like, I don't know. I stopped talking to a guy because I mean, most people would say that he checked all the boxes, right? But he chewed with his mouth full. I know what I can't deal with. I know. I know.
What? Hold on, say that again. He did what?
I mean, open. I'm sorry, open. Did I say full? Yeah, he chews with his mouth open, full. I'm talking like it's like he just puts it in and decides to just
Like, how do you do that? Like, I've never
like a
even heard of it. I've
cow
never seen it.
almost.
Like a
It,
child.
Yeah,
I
it's
was,
all about cuz.
and I'm like, so what's going on? So I
Hey,
feel
K
like,
still said your standard is your standard. I guess that's really real.
yeah,
It is what it is.
100%. And if you can say that this is my standard and this is why, and you're not putting anyone down and you're not trying to bash someone, then fine. Like what's wrong with that? But
Right.
some women,
Well, I mean, but you know what I think though, too, Trees? I think though, here it is. If that's how you feel, don't cross the boundaries and go have sex with that person and open up the door of feeling like you dig what I'm saying. Like now you liking me, you digging this, and you knowing you ain't finna be with that person.
but
Oh my
okay, so
God.
was that established? Let me ask a question. Was
Yeah.
that established before the sex happened?
What was established? What kind of friendship, or where was this gonna go to? Or
Right,
was it just like a freak session or a one night stand or what?
right.
But
Because
I'm
you're
just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't open up that door and make that person think that you like them if you really can't. I ain't finna be here with these 3 kids. You dig
When
what
did
listen,
you
I'm saying?
figure that
if
out?
you're not
Huh?
telling the person
I said, when did you figure that out?
But listen, you Oli had 3 kids. Oli had 3 kids. You remember that?
I
Oli had,
do.
yeah, Oli had three. And I think one of the things is that I dug her sons. Like they used to hang out with me. So I mean, I used
Because
to keep them during the day when she went to work. You dig what I'm saying? And then Naja, she turned 2 on me. And so I was just like, shit. After a while, I was all they knew. So it was just like after a while, I was only with her because of them. Sometimes I felt like shit. Like I could have really been and left her, but it's like I got attached to them. So you know what I mean? Yeah, I could say that it's different, but I was just trying to get it from her perspective. Like, what's
no,
the cutoff points by her being a woman?
Yeah, and I'll say this, like when you said with the sex, like if you are being honest and you're not, trying to lead this person down this road where you're like, I know what I'm doing. If you're being honest with the person, if you establish this is what it is up to that individual to say, hey, I'm either going to have a sexual relationship knowing that this person is not going to be with me and I'm
Right.
fine with that, or they can do what most women do. They think, oh, I got that good, so he's gonna stay. I mean, when has it ever worked? Like, come on, if someone doesn't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. And then a lot of times women are scared to say they hurt their own feelings. They knew that man didn't want to be with them. They continue to have a relationship. And in their mind, they felt if we do this long enough, we'll be in a relationship. And then the man decides to peace out. And that's his right if he's being honest.
I listen. I'm with you on that. Loco Lo said facts. Yeah, so that's really real. But because sometimes, I mean, it might be like that. I just needed to hear from a female's perspective of what they think and how they think. Because I never want a person to think like, okay, just because she got 3 kids, she's done in the dating world. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. I
No,
think that insane when people do that. So if someone wants to date a woman, regardless of how many children she has, if you're a good woman, you're a good woman. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. You may have a sketchy life, but guess what? If you've changed yourself and your track record is showing for the last, 20 whatever years that you've changed, it's not like, oh, I changed yesterday and I'm not like that, right? But I mean, who's to say people can't grow? And who's to say if you don't like to be with a single mom, just don't be with a single mom. Like, it's cool. I don't like to be with people who chew with their mouth open and hanging out and trying to swallow and breathe at the same time.
If she changed 20 years ago, her kids are grown, so it's not even an issue.
You never know.
So
Janet Jackson had a baby at like 50.
Yeah, I know, because she's Janet Jackson. And to see that baby 6 times.
I'm just saying, other people, look, if you can get BBLs on Care Credit, you can get a rent a baby womb on Care Credit, I'm sure. So.
Care Credit? Yeah. I mean, shit. Hey,
for real.
Yeah, like 6 times. She just be like, what the baby doing? It's like she don't even say the kids' names of what the baby doing.
Right, because somebody else taking care of the baby. Yeah,
right.
Horrible.
Well, shit, we over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we over the 1 hour mark. I was just I thought that dude said some stuff that was pretty cool, man. I mean, he's you could tell that he ain't got no filter, and some of his views, you know what I mean? Like she said, he's speaking to a specific, I guess, a group of people. But I was just trying to see, man, because it's women that's out here that feel like that. And a lot of times you see it in they posts, man. It's just like, what is all these posts about and all these encrypted messages of, oh, this and that, I want this and that just because I ain't got this and that. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay. Let me see. Like maybe there's something wrong with you. You dig what I'm saying? Have you thought about that? You dig what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It takes inner work. Like I would say people go to, therapy, trying to figure out yourself, because a lot of people don't know who they are. And then in turn they're out here and they're getting in a relationship and they don't know who they are. So the other person could be challenging them, and now they're getting upset and all angst because they're like, oh, wait, don't do that, because they don't know who they are. And half the time they probably don't even like that person.
Yep. But Local Law says just pull up their Carfax. Ain't that the truth?
But what if we look at the concept of these kids that are asking about that right now online? And I say kids, I'm like 21. Their grandfathers were out here, right? They're doing the thing. They were bringing things home for the mom. All the kids had whatever they wanted to, right? Then they go ahead and bounce their ass to have a seat for a second. Well, then you got the boy of theirs that picks it up, and then he continues to do it. And then he has who we consider now to be these Instagram chicks. So they've grown up with whatever they want, and they're just looking for a continuation on it.
Right. Well, I mean, because right now, if you look at this generation, I think that they look at things different. You know what I mean? Every so often, man, I'll get somebody in a chair that's in their like 20s, and they really got they head screwed on, and not just saying like they just off out there, but I'm just talking about want a career, don't want to be selling dope, want to work on a career right now, trying to establish this. The one guy I was talking about with the lawn care service, he came over with his girl. You dig what I'm saying? And I mean, he's really like into like family. It's like it's hard to see him like that young, like right now, just that's trying to build those morals and those standards and saying family values like right now. Like I don't need to be out here and I don't have to chase that, because right now social media got everybody. I ain't gonna say everybody, but it's got a hold on what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to be doing, what's cool, what's not cool. You dig what I'm saying? So all right.
Not even with just the kids, but with you got grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
You have grown women out here that will mimic. I mean, they'll be my age and they'll be mimicking what they see girls do, on IG and it's like.
Or motherfuckers getting depressed because somebody else on vacation. Like, what that got to do with anything? Why are you so concerned about what somebody else doing? And that's the only time that, they taking vacation pictures, but that's, they ain't gonna talk about when he took that crowbar to her head like 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. They like, we're great, what I'm saying? All that bullshit. But yeah,
right.
I mean, you know what? Facebook is highlights.
What's up? Mix and Mel said, what's up, y'all? Just stopping by. Man, just chilling, man. And but yeah, I get it. But like right now, do you? I think that that's like the thing. Like somebody take a trip somewhere and post their pics of like where they went.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah,
mean, and it's content, and the thing is,
I don't.
you have to be understand that the internet is the internet, right? It's a playground. It's just like when we were younger, our generation actually used to go outside, right? You're just the internet is the park, right? You go, you have fun, and that's just what it is. You can post stock photos. You have these photos I will take when I don't do Facebook, but like I was active on Instagram, and it's like one day you may see my full feed, next day you see one picture, right? I'm going to show you whatever I want to show you. But understand, I know people that will go out and they will just take a crap ton of photos, right? They'll go downtown, they'll go to the Ritz, they'll go all these places, take these photos, look like they're there. These people are broke in real life. Like, we borrow, like, no, I mean like girls that I'm looking at like, dang girl, like your hair is always done, your nails are always done, right? But you're like, I need to borrow $10 because I can't get to work. It's
yeah.
it's
Ain't
not
no
that.
future in your front.
Well, I always say it's
Hey,
not working for you.
hey,
All of
as old school as it may sound, ain't that the truth? Listen, hey,
Hey,
Bree tried to tell you before he clocked out, didn't he? Loco Lo says stunting 1 on 1, and that's it,
hey,
man.
I'm telling you out here click clacking and it ain't about that.
and for what? To impress like people who are broke too?
Right. And that's get into a whole conversation about that.
I'm like,
Because I can start discussing Jordans and all that shit, but motherfuckers just trying to impress other people who don't have any more than you do. So you're all walking around broke because you're trying to keep up with the person next to you who's broke. I don't know. I can go down a rabbit hole on that.
no.
But
Yeah.
that's for another podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to talk about that one though, because that's it. You know what I mean? But you'll see them out there in the world, and then something happened to them, and they ain't, like we said, you ain't got no burial money, you ain't got no bond money, you ain't, hey, you just out here tripping. You dig what I'm saying? And you
You
living
got
for
sneaker money.
No.
yeah, and that's it. So, but hey, I don't know. You got anything else up that you want to share, man?
Sure. I think we're good for the night. Try to go get some videos.
How long you gonna be down there, Trees?
I'll be here for about another week.
Oh, damn, that's really vacationing, ain't it?
Yeah.
What do you call that?
I know. I'm like,
When did you get down there?
I just got in yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
You said that like you've been there for a week and you're gonna do about another week. I was about to say like what kind of
You know, I feel like I have because I've been with him so much recently.
right?
I'm like, dang.
Yeah, because you just came
This
from
is
Phoenix.
cool. It's great to have her down here. We're just gonna chill out. We're just gonna do some kind of zen shit and just kick it. So
Okay, still I'm seeing what he's posting. But yeah, I seen Natalie in the store a couple of weeks ago, Trees. Yeah,
Oh, did you?
you look just like her.
She
Look just like her. Look
fitting and
just like her. Look
fitting
just
and
like her. I swear, look just like her.
I
Yeah.
do.
hmm But
I get
listen,
it.
man, I gotta go ahead and get ready, man, because I gotta go punch this clock. Yeah, I told you about that stupid job I got.
yeah, you told me.
Yeah, man. It's cool though. I mean, when I get the check every day, I feel like I go in there. We don't really do nothing, but I just hate warehouse jobs, bro. I hate them like with like a passion, man. But somebody said something cool. I was just saying, man, I gotta hit this second job, and they were just like, you do what you gotta do until you can do what you want to do. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope.
That is all
Yes.
truth, and
That
that's
I thought that was so dope. I was like, man, you do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
true.
Make it make sense.
I had a logistics job, and you know how horrible that is. You basically know what that is in a warehouse,
Yeah.
right? They just coming in, the bills are laden. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have those. You gotta sign off that the truck. It was a horrible man. I get you.
Yeah, but see, the horrible thing about mine is that you got to put on all of this PPE gear just to go inside rooms. And since you're dealing with like meat and stuff like that,
Oh
you
yeah.
you got to have on boots and everything has got to be sanitized. You can't go in certain places unless you got your beard wrapped up. And it's just like this is too much, bro. It's like I can't even remember this, man. You got locks. They give you like lockout locks with a key. You better not lose this lock. You got a lock to your locker room. It's like this is too much. You know what I'm saying? It should be like this. But for right now, man, I'm on the grind trying to figure this out, man. So I don't know. I keep you posted on what's going on. We on for next week again, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Because I ain't got nothing going on. We'll just do it like this, and then shoot. When I get done with this, I'm getting ready to go to work. You
All
know.
right.
All right, man. I'll holler at you, man. Probably this weekend. Y'all be safe. Trees, good to
What's up?
see you again,
All
sweetheart.
right, good seeing you too. Thank you for